All right, welcome. So today what we got is some classic chicken Alfredo, except we're doing everything ourselves. So we're gonna make our own sauce. We'll add some mushrooms, some broccoli, some shrimp to it. So it'll be a chicken and shrimp Alfredo. My son don't like shrimp, but they're the big shrimp, so he can easily, pick it out, or when we give us a plate, we'll pick it out. It's fine. I have several pots here. So first thing I got going here, I got a pot of water going for my noodles, pot of water going for my shrimp. So shrimp takes about 4 or 5 minutes in the boiling water to get it thawed out, and I'll go ahead and detail it. Everything else has been done on it. The noodles will go till we get done. We'll save once half a cup of the noodle sauce set aside in case we need, to thicken it, or to, if it's too thick, the Alfredo, we can use it. That way it's already kind of flavored, has that starch and everything that we need. And we'll drain the noodles and all that good stuff. So it's really a pretty quick meal, I believe. I got all my instructions printed out. As you can see, I emailed the recipe to myself, printed out, since I'm using my phone to record with. So first thing I'm gonna do is, that I got going here, is the shrimp and the pasta. Like I said, we got 2 pots here going. As soon as they get boiling, we'll add everything to it. The shrimp will be done pretty quick. Then we'll throw the shrimp in with my chicken. Make up like a little sauce there, just a little butter, a little olive oil. Just heat the chicken up. I'm gonna go ahead and shred the chicken, put it in there, cut it up on my cutting board while we're doing all this. That way I can add it in there, because we'll use that pan with that butter of olive oil. We'll add all our seasoning in to make our creamy pasta sauce. But I'll cook in the mushrooms, the broccoli, all that as we go. I got all my ingredients out. As you can probably see, here's all my seasonings. Over here's broccoli, noodles, all that good stuff. So getting everything ready here. Just wait on these pots to get going. This one's getting pretty close. Go ahead and get me a cutting board. Handy dandy cutting board here. So this is my second meal being made of the day. We got pizza dough over doing its rise and stuff. And the reason being, Mondays and Wednesdays are full class load day. Got typically 4 classes on days like that. So we leave the house here, which the college I work at is probably about an hour from my house. So I gotta leave here about 6:30 in the morning. Get to college about 7:45. Gives me a few minutes to prep for my first class. And then we don't get home till about 4 or 5. So it gets to be a long day. So here on Sunday, I'm gonna go ahead and make up a couple meals. I'll make us through the first couple of days. That way, Wednesday, we typically, after we get done, we'll go out somewhere and eat. And then, sometime on the weekend, we'll either go out and eat or order something in. Either way. But trying to get to the point that we eat at home more. Part of that. Got our kitchen done, so here I am doing a little bit more cooking. A little bit better meals for us. This is not a health thing. As far as this video is not going to be all about counting calories and all that good stuff. I'm just cooking stuff at home, letting AI give me the recipe. Something comes up. A prime example is like the pizza we're cooking. Well, didn't have my tomato sauce to make my own pizza sauce. So I asked chat for some recommendations. So we got solutions on what I did have. I had marinara, have some seasonings to add to it. We're going to simmer it for about 10 minutes on the stove, and that'll help thicken it up, get rid of some of the moisture. That's our biggest problem, I guess, with a marinara versus pizza sauce. Pizza sauce is thicker than the marinara, I guess. All right, both these are going. Let me add my shrimp in here. As you can see, this is just frozen shrimp. Nothing fancy. It thaws out really quickly. We like to add it to meals like this, add it to, some kind of creamy Alfredo sauce or something that comes out very good. So I'm just dethawing the rest of the shrimp the rest of the way, running some cool water over it a little bit while the water gets boiling on the stove. Like I said, shrimp thaws out very fast, so it's not something that takes a really long time to do. I already got my chicken. Like I said, the chicken was pre-cooked the other day. Made some homemade chicken noodle soup. And when we did the chicken noodle soup, I cooked extra at the time. That way I already had the chicken pre-cooked. Bought a big bag because probably 3.5, almost 4 pounds of chicken. This shrimp just calls for 4 or 5 minutes here. And once we get done, we'll drain this, get the pot out of the way. I will go ahead and detail it. These have already been peeled and deveined, but I will detail them after that. That way we don't have that in our Alfredo. Okay, so while we let this go now here for a minute, my pot over here is starting to boil. Let me add my penne pasta. See, nothing fancy. As I go, if I have the time and everything, especially during this, I started all this, in between break of 2 semesters. So if I have the time, even during the semester, I stay at it. I think I'm gonna get me some kind of I don't know what they call the little machine where you can make the different type noodles, where you can make them penne, you can make spaghetti, or you can make lasagna or whatever, egg noodles. So I'll get something like that where I can run my own pasta through there. After making the pizza dough, I realized there's not a whole lot to making your own dough like that. So I think it'd be pretty cool to try that out, make my own styles, and everything really would be truly homemade. Again, that's all going to be, that's a lot more time consuming. We don't always have time for like that, so a lot of these meals are, boiling pasta noodles is no big deal. We're making our own sauce just to cut down on some of the pre-manufactured stuff, so we don't have to buy so much that way. Just using our own mixture of heavy cream, a little bit of seasoning, chicken, shrimp. We're gonna add the broccoli. I'll cut some of the broccoli down so it's not so large. But we'll do the broccoli, we'll do the mushrooms, cook all that in together. And then once that's done, we'll stir in our noodles and we'll have a finished Alfredo. This Alfredo will probably be more for tomorrow. That pizza, I think they'll probably want to eat today. And we'll see. He'll make a large pizza of what I'm doing. So that'll be more than enough to feed everyone here. Just 3 of us. We'll probably, but it'll go quick. Pizza tends to go awful quick. This is our goal for the day. If you can read my apron, this shit's gonna be delicious. That's what we're trying to do today, right? That's what we try to do every day. I guess the biggest thing is working with technology all the time. I'm a professor in cybersecurity. Just want to use AI, see how it works out, see how the recipes come out. So far they've been coming out pretty good. So I'm gonna stay with it. Keep trying different things. As I mentioned in other videos, you can do what I would call like a profile, flavor profile, if you will. But the AI can remember your preferences, especially if you save it in like a group folder project, create a folder in some of the AIs. Use that. It'll remember what you tend to like, and when it gives recipes, it'll give recipes based on those recommendations. So a lot of times I get more southern style. I like the creamier, chicken noodle soups, Alfredo, so it gives me that with the heavy cream. Stuff I've used before. So it comes out really well. So I'll have it remember what I like. On other dishes, I like the little bit of heat, the southern style, the hamburger stew with cayenne in it, stuff like that. All right. We got both pots going right now. Probably got 7-8 minutes left on that. I'm gonna see what it says as far as doing the chicken and the shrimp, getting that sauce going. It only takes a minute to cook it since it's already cooked. And since it's already cooked, I'll go ahead and just start with the sauce. Add this in, cooking with the sauce. We'll add in the broccoli, the mushrooms, all that cooked a little while. Don't take long. I say a little while, 5-10 minutes probably. My pizza still got anywhere from probably 45 minutes to an hour left. So this will all be finished in probably the next 30 minutes anyways, at the most. 30, 45. So this will be a whole meal completely done. Once it cools off a little bit, we can package it up, put it in the refrigerator, and we got meals for the next couple of days while we're teaching at school and all that good stuff. We come home and everything's been a busy, hectic day. We're always tired. Last year and a half, it's just been easier to go through drive-thrus, grab stuff of that nature on the way home. So we're trying to break that habit. Less drive-thrus, just for one, the price is absolutely ridiculous. Family of 3 is almost $60 now just to go through most drive-thrus. Yeah, I know we can just go grab a burger and fries at McDonald's, but heck, even a combo meal from them is almost $10-12 every type meal. So getting out of there under $40 for 3 people is very difficult. So with this meal, we'll eat on it 2 days at least, and it costs less than the $40 for sure. I mean, noodles, a few bucks. I think the broccoli and the mushrooms, not even $5 combined for both of them. The pack of chicken, but it got 2 meals out of it where it was $12, so you can say $6 a meal there. I mean, we're gonna be less than $20 and we get to eat on it 2 days. Same with the pizza. I had everything here. I mean, heck, pepperoni costs a little bit and cheese, of course, but it's probably the same. Most of these meals we can eat on 2 days. You're probably feeding a family, and these meals feed 4 or 5 people easy. Like I said, we eat on 2 days, and there's 3 of us, and my son's as big as I am, and he's 13, so he can put food away just like I can. So it's for sure $20. You can come out pretty good. Now, if you start adding side dishes and you want to do some type of bread or something, you can probably figure $30 a meal this way. You're looking at the most, nothing I've done so far has been over an hour and a half from start to finish. I think the longest was maybe an hour and 40, 45 maybe was absolute longest, but that was taking breaks in between other stuff. Wasn't on it the whole time. So most of these meals you can get done within an hour, hour and a half. Now, when I get done at the end, I throw everything in the dishwasher, clean up, everything's complete. So it's not an hour, hour and a half to cook, and then you got dishes on top of it. So try to avoid that as well. A lot of times you'll have minutes in between where you're doing everything. You'll have a little time, especially with, like here, my dishwasher's right by my sink. Don't even take me 5 minutes to throw them in there. It's quick and easy. Alright, so I still got another 4 or 5 minutes on the pasta noodles. The shrimp's done. I'm about to drain it. And that way I can start my Alfredo sauce. So let me get this pot drained out. Alright. Get a big pot back out here real quick. So my first step in here, like I said, the chicken's already done, so I'm gonna kind of skip that step. If you remember my previous videos, this butter's labeled, there's a small stick, half sticks, but it's already labeled for teaspoons. I need 4 teaspoons here in a minute, or tablespoons I mean. 4 tablespoons, 1 tablespoon right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and add, like I said, I don't mind going a little bit over, Like I said, it's not a health video, so a little bit extra butter. My handy dandy olive oil. Again, I don't measure a tablespoon, just kind of guess it on that. We're gonna sit there So this right here is what we cook the chicken in. The 1 tablespoon butter, 1 tablespoon olive oil. I'm gonna go ahead and toss the chicken in here because I do want to add the Italian seasoning. I do want to add a little bit of the garlic powder, and some black pepper. That way it gets it seasoned to the chicken. And then we'll go ahead and just take the chicken out, just put it back over here on our chopping block here, or add it where our shrimp is or something. So let me go ahead and add this chicken in real quick. So it calls for around 1.5 pounds of chicken. That's about what we had. Like I said, it was 2 full chicken breasts. They were 5 chicken breasts total to begin with. I used 3 in the chicken noodle soup because it called for 2 pounds. This one calls for 1.5 pounds, so I'm gonna assume it worked out pretty dang good. Next you'll see I'm gonna add the shrimp to it. We'll go ahead and detail them. That way, all that is done, and this will be my meat. I'm gonna add my seasoning once I get all this shrimp in here. When I showed you the bag, that was me. I just took it out of the freezer just a minute before that. So you see even the frozen shrimp, pull it out, run it under water, maybe 4 or 5 minutes. 4 or 5 minutes in boiling water on the stove, and it's done. I mean, it's hot done where you can just eat it the way it is right now if you want. So if you just want to do a shrimp Alfredo, you see how easy it is. I have got shrimp before that were, not peeled, kind of a longer mess for no more than you save on it. I don't even know if you save anything anymore. The cost is probably close to the same. Let me get this out. You see, this is going to make a lot more meat since we added almost 1 pound of shrimp with our 1.5 pounds of chicken. I may have to add a little bit extra on the making the sauce. And that's what that 1/2 cup of the pasta sauce left over for the noodles can help stretch it a little bit more. Alright, let me I'm just going to put my chicken back in here, maybe. Maybe that'll work. Let's see how this works out. Get rid of these tails real quick. So we want me to add some garlic, Italian seasoning, and pepper. Again, I typically just kind of put the pepper in there. I don't measure the teaspoon out. Now I will on the Italian seasoning, and I will on the garlic as well. I want roughly a teaspoon. Garlic. There's my Italian seasoning. Stir all this in, take it off, and then we're going to start adding and building our Alfredo base. You can see here, my chicken and shrimps mixed up very nice. You see my noodles already done. I'll drain them right here in a minute. While we got the heat going and everything, let me see what I need for my Alfredo. So I'm gonna need, I got my measuring cup here. So I need my cloves of garlic, my butter, my heavy cream. The only thing I need to get out is my heavy cream, and I think I got everything else. We got our Parmesan, we got our heavy cream, got our garlic. So they want you to take out the meat, that way you can actually build your base good. Get everything mixed in properly. Use the same pan so you get that seasoning that carries over. So I'm gonna go ahead and add, here's my 4 tablespoons of garlic right here. This is the first thing they want me to add. If you watch any of my other videos, 1 teaspoon of this is roughly a clove of garlic I found. Works out very well. Once the butter melts in there good, I will add that, stir it for about 30 seconds like always, and then we'll go from there. And I think we add the heavy cream, the seasoning, let it simmer, bring it so it thickens up, and we'll add the chicken back to it. I'll get the mushrooms over here, we'll add a dose of mushrooms to it, half the pack probably, and we'll cut up some of the broccoli, get rid of some of the stems, cut them a little bit smaller. That way it's not overwhelming broccoli taste inside the Alfredo, but we'll get that going here in a minute. Might need a bigger pan, we'll see, it's adding up. It says 1.5 cup of this heavy cream, 1 cup of the Parmesan. Now we got that in there. Let me add 1 to 4 cloves of garlic. Not quite completely 4 solid teaspoons, but pretty close. On this one, they don't want you to brown the garlic at all. Just want you to stir it in for about 30 seconds. If your pan's already kind of hot after cooking the chicken, turn it down to around a 2, 4, maybe even a little lower. We'll get these 30 seconds in. And it ain't gotta be quite 30 seconds, it just starts activating everything. Next we're gonna add our heavy cream. It wants us to simmer 3 to 4 minutes with the heavy cream in there. It gets everything mixed in well. Then we're gonna mix in our Parmesan cheese and then all our seasoning so it starts thickening up. Once that's done, all the meat goes back in, the broccoli, the mushrooms, and then we'll add the pasta sauce or pasta noodles at the end. And I'll make our own sauce with it. It's pretty good there. Let me add the first cup of heavy cream. Add one more. Let me add half a cup here. I tend to go a little extra at times, like it, thicker, creamier sauce. Okay, this part of it wants us to stir and simmer 3 to 4 minutes. So I got the time on my stove here. I'm gonna keep on it. I'll go ahead and get some other stuff out and ready to go. Only other season we'll add to this, it wants a pinch of nutmeg, it recommends. That's what AI told me, so we'll try a pinch of nutmeg. Black pepper, like I said, I normally don't measure it out, I just kind of add it. Before I open a new Parmesan, I got one already inside there. I'm just going to add it to the rest of this heavy cream. I'll use a little spoon or something to get out this cup. Oh, that's going to be pretty good. Let me check my instructions real quick. After 3 to 4 minutes of this heavy cream here, it's a couple minutes in is all we are right now. We'll keep stirring. We'll start stirring in the grated Parmesan until everything smooths out pretty good. Add our optional seasoning, which is just pepper and nutmeg. Then after that, just be kind of combining ingredients at that point. I'm gonna get rid of some of this stuff out of my way. All right. Start stirring in all the Parmesan now. It just wants the heat on low, so I got it all the way down, all the way at the bottom, so it's not much to it. Make a nice thick and creamy sauce here. And we're going to toss the chicken, the shrimp, the broccoli, the mushrooms, and we'll add in the penne pasta at the end, and we'll have a completed Alfredo. And I may have to do the opposite, save a little bit of the juice over there, drain it, and then use that big pot to stir everything in, because it's filling up pretty quick, and I don't know if once I add the penne pasta, if it'd make it in there or not, to be honest. Okay, so this is getting there pretty good. This is on low heat. It's ready to add everything to it. Like I said, I'm gonna cut up some mushrooms. I'm gonna cut up some broccoli. We're gonna add that to the pot. We're gonna add the meat in with it. Drain the noodles, just add everything over to the noodle pot. And then we'll have a completed Alfredo meal here. Quick and simple. I mean, we're probably only been going, not even 30 minutes yet, I bet. Now, I did have the chicken already pre-cooked, so I guess that did save me, you know, 10 or 15 minutes. Nothing major. So, this chicken, the shrimp. Oh yeah. So I probably called for 1.5 cups of heavy cream. I did probably closer to 1 3/4. I tend to go a little bit heavier on the heavy cream on meals that call for it. Like the chicken noodle soup, stuff like that, when it thickens it up, gives it flavor. Like I always say, this is not a show that we're counting calories. I'm not telling you this is the most healthiest thing in the world, but still believe it beats drive-through. So. Alright. We'll save a few mushrooms for my pizza. On the Alfredo, now on pizza, I'll leave them whole. I will cook them to get all the moisture out. We don't want it to soak into the dough itself, the pizza dough. But for this Alfredo, I'm going to chop them kind of thin. Everything's pretty warm on that sauce. It's just right below boiling point pretty much. Put it on low. So all this will heat up very nice in there. Okay. And as you can tell by the quantity, we like our mushrooms awful well. This is just an add-on. You don't have to do it. Just an optional. You can add a couple little things. You know, the broccoli, the mushrooms go very, very well with it. I'm going to add some broccoli here next. And I think that's what we saved some of the pasta for. When we drain it, we save a little bit of the juice out of it in case it gets too thick. We need to thin it out. That salted water that we cooked the pasta in will be perfect for that. Alright, I think it's mixing in nice. You go ahead and nice and creamy from the cheese. So far, so good. We'll get some broccoli. Now this is a big pack of broccoli. I won't be using all that, of course. But the good thing, whatever I don't use, my son's rabbits will enjoy them quite well. So I'm doing here most of the time, I'm cutting the stems and cutting these down a little bit smaller sizes. I, for one, don't like getting a hold of a piece of broccoli that you got to chew around to get it all. This cuts it down a little bit. Makes it a little bit easier to manage when it's inside. Or Alfredo over here. And if I don't come up with something to use that broccoli the next day or two, I'll end up, like I said, we'll feed it to son's rabbit so it won't go to waste. We tend to keep a lookout when we go to the store. Our local grocery store will reduce the price of vegetables that's been out there that needs to go that day. We buy those a lot because they'll have carrots, they'll have broccoli, they'll have spinach. And we found that the rabbits absolutely love all that. So we'll buy those packs. My son can give it to them as a treat about once a week or so. Gives them a little something extra in their diet. Of course, you know, they have the Timothy cubes and Timothy hay and all that good stuff for them, but something extra. So So you see here by adding all this, the whole sauce is thickening up. So I'm gonna save some of the juice here when I drain it. And probably could have cut down a little bit, but we do like a good thick broccoli, mushrooms, good Alfredo. It's got plenty of meat in it. It's got the shrimp, it's got the chicken. Got a good creamy sauce. I did get a little bit thicker on the sauce because I figured this way it's gonna come out. So now let me drain. Clean this board off and drain our noodles. So you can see this came with our set, so I can just set this right inside here, pour the noodles out. I'm gonna save some of the juice first, as that's what they recommend before I drain everything. Let me see. Get these noodles drained off now. Like I said, now they're drained off. You can see my broccoli, mushroom, Alfredo. I'm gonna add it to my noodle bowl. That made quite a bit of Alfredo there. And that's what we like. Again, most of these recipes I'm doing, even though it says for 3 people, we eat it on it twice. So it's really 6 people can eat on this without too much of an issue. So what I did, I added back some of my juice back in, stretch it out more, make sure everything gets mixed in, get some sauce on it thoroughly. So this is a hot plate you can do in the oven, set something on it. Again, something else came with all our stuff, it's kind of cool. Bought all our pots and pans, bought a big set from, it's called Our Place online. Every one of them came with these spoons and all that cool stuff. But here we are, huge batch here. So I'll show you. Came out very well. So we're going to taste test it, see how it is. And that's pretty much the end of everything here.